We have all had to do it, and no matter how much we procrastinate or how much we ignore the assignment, it just doesn't go away. Whether you're writing a short constructed response or a full-blown essay, writing doesn't have to be as difficult as it first seems. The beauty of the PEA writing style is that it simplifies the task of writing into 3 manageable chunks, making the process a whole lot easier and a lot less painful. PEA writing also helps with flow and organization, while also helping you create strong arguments. Not to mention that PEA writing will be expected of you all 4 years of high school. Let's dig in, shall we? The first step in the process of writing a PEA response is the point. The point is the why behind your writing. Maybe you have a specific prompt that needs addressing, or maybe you really just want to put your own ideas on paper. The point section is where you will tell your audience what you are writing about. The point in your writing is the main idea and should always be written in CSIQ format. CSIQ format is complete sentence including question. It should explain to your audience what you are trying to prove while giving a brief overview of your entire paragraph. In order to get a better understanding of what point truly is, let's take a look at a sample paragraph. In this instance, the student was asked to write to the following prompt. Is the J21VA a good school to attend? Give at least 2 examples to prove your point. The first step in creating a solid point is to answer the question using CSIQ. Answering a question with CSIQ is mandatory for all writing assignments in this course and all future courses in high school. To write a CSIQ, you first have to identify what the prompt is asking you to accomplish. In this situation, the prompt is simply asking whether or not you believe the J21VA is a good school to attend. So you have to make a decision. And for the purpose of this video, we all know that J21VA is a great school to attend. So we're going to have our point be yes, but this response is not a CSIQ. We must now turn it into one. By including some specific wording from the prompt and adding in our own thoughts, we can make this process very easy. So our point becomes, the J21VA is a good school to attend. And just like that, you've already completed the first task in writing a PEA response. The second part of writing a PEA response is the evidence portion of your writing. Evidence is what proves your point. In order to write your evidence, you first need to re-examine the prompt. What is the prompt specifically asking you to do? Well, for our sample paragraph, we've been asked to determine whether or not the J21VA is a good school to attend, giving 2 specific examples. We've already decided that yes, it's a good school to attend, so now we just need to figure out 2 specific reasons why it's a good school to attend and add them to our point. Your evidence could be a fact, a statistic, a quote, or even a personal story. By adding your evidence onto your point, it then becomes a full topic sentence. Our sentence now becomes, the J21VA is a good school to attend because it has all of the required courses that I need to take, while providing me with the flexibility to learn online. Once you have finished a topic sentence, the next step is to expand that topic sentence into a full paragraph or essay. To do this, you will have to complete your evidence by adding in examples and details. Take a second and read this extended paragraph. While this is a great start to our paragraph, we have to remember that our prompt asks us for 2 specific pieces of evidence. That means we will still need to add in another piece of evidence. If you remember, our second piece of evidence focused on the idea of flexibility. Flexibility is a great piece of evidence, but because it is so much different than our first reason, it will have to be its own paragraph. But we will get to that in a bit. Here is our second piece of evidence. Once again, remember your evidence needs to prove your point, and our point is that the J21VA is a good school to attend because it has all of the required courses that I need to take while providing me with the flexibility to learn online. Our first piece of evidence proved that the J21VA has all of the required classes, so the next piece of evidence has to prove that the J21VA provides a flexible work schedule. To prove our evidence, we crafted our second piece of evidence to say, flexibility in my school schedule is extremely important to me because of my very busy practice schedule with my competitive soccer team. Currently, I am one of the 11 elite starters on the Junior USA national team. Now that we have both pieces of evidence accounted for, we need to move on to the third phase in the PEA writing process, which is the analysis portion. Analysis is the explanation of how and why your evidence proves your point. Here are a few helpful hints on how to have strong analysis. 1. Try to use keywords from your point statement. 2. Ask yourself how your evidence demonstrates your argument. And 3, ask yourself, so what and why is this important? And then explain why it's important and tell people why they should care. One thing to remember about analysis is that it comes after each piece of evidence. Analysis is often the hardest part of the whole process, but if you take your time and ask yourself those questions, the analysis comes much easier. Here is our example paragraph now. We have a pretty good start to a solid piece of writing here, but why does the writing feel so choppy? It's because we aren't finished with our first piece of evidence, so therefore we can't just move on to the second piece. What should we do? Well, we need to go back and we need to add in the analysis to the first piece of evidence. The analysis is a natural transition that will move our writing forward. So we need to move the part about flexibility down to its own paragraph and add in our analysis for the first piece of evidence. Our example paragraph now becomes a multi-paragraph response. Once we've added in the analysis for evidence 1, it's time to do the same for evidence 2. That turns our example paragraph into this. Hang in there, guys, we're almost finished. There's only a few things left to do. They are 1, add in transitions, 2, add a conclusion, and 3, proofread and edit carefully. Adding in transitions is a very easy task. Ask yourself, how can I get from one paragraph to the next smoothly? Then write a sentence that incorporates elements from both the paragraphs. For example, this sentence helps us get from one paragraph to the next. In addition to having all the required classes that I need to graduate, the J21VA also provides me with the opportunity to learn when and where it is convenient for me. Now the only thing left to do is to add a conclusion. Your conclusion needs to sum up everything that you've had to say, but not repeat something over and over. Once you've added in your conclusion, our example paragraph now becomes, Before you submit your PEA essay or paragraphs, please make sure that you do a final proofreading and an editing. And just like that, you've created a PEA response.